right, I'm very excited today. I found out about this last week. Lynn Hauser came in and with his I think a new bride.
This is true.
And she was a Cataldo. Well, a friend of mine, Mutt Suttles, who is an incredible artist, is married to a Cataldo. And now I have on stage Heidi Cataldo Warren, who is a video producer, and among other things.
Correct.
And what I found out from Lynn, and what's your mother's name?
Jan.
Jan?
Mm-hmm.
Jan, is that you have produced a historical entertainment film about Wartrace.
Yes.
And I thought that was just sounded amazing, so I got in touch with Heidi and to see if she could come in here today and talk to us about herself and this film that's getting ready to release and how it's going to release and where you can see it. It's 55 minutes.
It's a 55-minute documentary.
And what caused you to do this?
I have to say it's a passion project. I really had a whole lot of different things that I wanted to do with the website, which is what started all of this. I did the Wartrace, townofwartrace.com website. And in doing that, I had to do a lot of research because there was some incorrect information on it. I was finding contradictory information on their previous website. It was very old. And so, I don't know, I just started digging. You know how rabbit holes go with the internet. Next thing I know, I've got hours and hours worth of information that I feel like I need to give back to everybody somehow.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, if this is what their truth was, I think I need to start changing everyone's mind about it. That there's a lot more out there. Once I started doing the research, there's a lot more out there that I feel like people needed to know.
Well, Wartrace is one of those towns that was there long time ago. Long time ago.
And previous, correct.
And there's all kinds of Civil War history going on around there. And
war, period. Not just Civil War. There, multiple wars went through there.
Multiple wars,
yeah.
yes. And we have, my father-in-law, Bob Couch, was a reenactor. And they have people in the cemetery there.
Yep.
And so we make a yearly pilgrimage usually to that little dead-end cemetery at the end of the road.
Yeah.
And go up there for the celebration of that cemetery because my wife has kinfolks in there.
Awesome.
And Wendell Hartman and his father and the Hartman brothers, who played on the Grand Ole Opry, probably 50 years ago, put the first fiddle competition down in Wartrace.
That was Don Gallagher.
And Don Gallagher was involved with Wendell, and they did the first thing, and we went down there and camped out, set up a camp, and then one night my wife and I stayed in the hotel, so that's when the hotel was operational. There's so much about Wartrace.
It's all in there. I crammed it all into 55 minutes.
55 minutes.
I really did. I crammed it all into 55 minutes. I think this is going to end up being a platform for multiple other videos that come off
I would
of
think
this.
so.
I got the cemeteries in there. I got the music in there. I got the art in there. I've got, the generations, the histories that came prior to. It's all in this 55 minutes. So yeah, I think I'm going to end up having to do. Let's clarify all the wars now. Let's clarify this portion of this part of the history.
Now, let's see. I can't think of her name right now. It's left me. They're a dance troupe, and she's a sculptor. Right as you're coming down into Wartrace from here, right as before you turn and go down the hill, she lives up on the right there, and there's a big statue in her yard.
I'm sure I know who you're talking about, but I cannot think of where.
It'll come to me in a minute.
I know a lot of the artists there.
Yeah,
because it's
but
not Sherry
she's
Warren.
a sculptor, and her family does
Warner.
does dancing. Your family does dancing.
Yes.
Your
Well,
sister
yes,
knows
the
her. I
one who married
guarantee you.
Mott.
It'll come
Yeah,
to
why
me
can't I think
because
of-
they do step dancing, Irish dancing,
Yep. Yeah.
Scottish dancing,
Yeah.
and all of that.
And she's also.
And she lives in a house. That house was owned by the only doctor that lived anywhere in the area up on that hill.
Okay.
Right as you start coming down, right as you make the turn.
It's not. I don't think it'll come to me. I don't know where everybody lives.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason.
She's somebody you need to meet as well because she's an amazing lady.
Well,
There's so many of them.
Right, and there's so many of us. I'm number 2 of the 13 of us kids. And so for me, it is, having come back only 10 years ago, it's very difficult because everybody feels like they know me because they know half my siblings
Sure,
or all my
sure,
siblings already.
sure.
I got, for the first year I was back, everybody kept saying,
Now, where
oh,
did
you're
you-
the only one I haven't met yet.
Where did you come back from?
I traveled everywhere. I was in Japan. I lived in almost, 7 or 8 or 9 different states. Traveled to all the states except for one.
And funding yourself by
Working in the entertainment industry.
working in the
Yep.
entertainment industry.
I would teach models and actors how to run their own business, basically. I got into music management for a little while. Tried to hand that over to the brothers
How
who
did
are
that go
actually in
for
the
you?
music. I personally don't like working with musicians as much as I liked working with the models and the actors. There's a different type of industry. It's a different type of industry within the entertainment realm, and I was going to let my siblings, carry that torch. They all sing. Asher Cataldo, a lot of people know his name around here.
Sure.
They did the Wartrace Boys for years, so even as young kids, they were, deep into the music industry. I go into that in the documentary too.
Sure.
So yeah, there's. Our family does pretty much everything. If you need something done, call it Cataldo, and
Well,
you're
when
going
you
to
got
find
that
somebody
many,
who can
when
do
you
it.
got that many kids involved, yeah, it covers a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, yep, it sure does. I think we blanket almost every single identity out there as far as a career is concerned. So.
Okay, so excuse me, the film. Tell me how you're going to bring that before the public. I know you have a sort of a warm-up thing you're going to do. And
Correct.
Give us a.
So this coming Saturday, July the 12th, we have kind of a quiet premiere that we're going to do for Miss Irma. She's 102 and she's one of my interviewees. And we're going to hold this at the King's Cross Church here in Tullahoma. That is where she attends. She's a
Okay.
member there. So her buddies from church and Sunday school are going to come on over and take a peek. I've invited media to that one so that they can have a little preview prior to our big event's going to be August 9th. We've got 3 different shows that we're going to run August 9th. So there's going to be a lunch screening and a dinner screening, and then we're going to have a mid-afternoon screening in between the 2. Anybody who wants can
And
just
that
go
will
to...
be where?
That one will be in Wartrace.
Okay.
We're going to hold it in the same venue in Wartrace. My brothers own a new venue location there, number 3, Main Street. And so I think what I am is the very first event that's going to happen. So it's not only the premiere to the documentary, it's also a premiere opening of their event center. So
Now-
we're going to see how it runs for everybody. Make
Now,
sure the kinks are ironed
it's
out.
not a bar or a club.
Correct.
It's an event center.
This is an
there.
actual event center. Correct.
Good, wonderful.
Correct. So they've done a very, very amazing job with the restoration. Just beautiful. To find out about the shows, you can go to alivingsoul.info. So spelt out straight, no dots, no dashes, no nothing. Just alivingsoul.info. There's tickets for the shows. It'll be catered. So we've got local caterers, the Strawberry Moon caterers there in Wartrace, are going to be catering our lunch and our dinner for us. And we're going to have, like, our little mid-afternoon matinee is going to have a little bit of a snack. We've got Double Oak and Vine is also coming in. They are going to be running our beverages for us. So there's going to be alcoholic beverage, but there'll also be mocktails. There'll also be, your favorite, sweet teas and et cetera, waters and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's going to be, I'm hoping that it's going to be this amazing event. Our lunch event, you will be able to meet the entire cast and crew. I am one of the cast and all of the crew. And then I've got the 4 interviewees. Yeah, you've met all the crew now.
All the crew.
You're one up on everybody else
there you
now.
go.
Plus, I think you actually know some of the interviewees.
Yeah, would you mind telling us who you did interview for this?
First and foremost, Miss Irma Stevens Troxler. She hasn't been Stevens, though, in I think 70-something years. She's 102 years old, and she'll be 103 in November. And she is a plethora of wonderful stories. She's just amazing. I also got to interview Don Gallagher, politician, music maker, Gallagher
Beautiful
guitars.
guitar maker forever and ever and ever.
I go into all that in the documentary, touch on all that, because I think I could do a whole segment on him too.
Sure.
Andy Gore, he's an interesting character. The Gore brothers' garage. He grew up in that garage, listening, to stories around the potbelly stove. I do that because you'll see that in the documentary. And ended up becoming an aerospace engineer, if I'm not mistaken. And then Blossom Merriman, a lot of people know her. She's a preservationist and a restorationist for old buildings. So she comes in with some good critical information and stories that surround some of the actual restoration that's going on in Wartrace right now.
Well, and of course we all know Blossom because she runs the museum at South Jackson Civic Center.
Yep.
And my wife
Tennessee Crossroads. I think she's part of that group too.
They probably interviewed her at some point, I'm sure, like you did.
Probably.
Because that's another television show.
Yeah, she's got that, exactly. She's got a great amount of information too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was the one who told me that one of the roofs that are being restored right now was actually a cistern. They used to catch water in the top of the roof to bring it back down and put out fires.
They were so much smarter than we thought they were.
That was not smart. The roofs kept caving in. I don't know. History. We learned from history, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you came to be with us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I really do appreciate it.
And what we hope to do is at some point, if she will be so generous to allow us, after the screening and the opening and they bring this thing out, we hope that we can get that video and can put it on our network.
Well, we will definitely talk about that.
Yeah. And see, because I'd love for, of course, we go to a lot of folks and with our YouTube channel and Facebook channel and 5 counties. So hopefully we can do that because that's what we do. We do. Okay. I know all of those people you're talking about because I've interviewed all of them at some point.
I bet you have.
Except the lady, Miss Troxler. I don't remember.
She's still
her.
Around.
Yeah,
come on
sure
down
my
Saturday
wife. I'm sure my wife knows her.
Yeah,
So,
she's related to the very first mayor of Wartrace. She's one of the
Isn't that
direct
something?
relatives. Yeah.
And so you came flying. Where did you come from? Where were you before
I was in
right
San
here?
Antonio, Texas.
San
right
Antonio.
Before here, yeah.
Well, great.
Kind of love Texas too, but we're sister states. So.
Okay. All right. Well, just keep us informed. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to meet another one of the Cataldo clans.
You're starting to count us down now, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now you know there's 13
And
of
I
us.
have never been disappointed by any of them that I've met. Some of the most talented people.
David Palooza too. Everybody knows about David Palooza this area.
Yeah,
That's my brother Dave.
Really?
Yes.
Now
it's a whole nother chapter.
Another chapter right there. All right, we'll do. So we'll keep you informed about this. But this Sunday. No, wait a minute.
This Saturday, doors open at 1, and we start screening at 1:30.
And that's King's Cross Church.
King's Cross Church here in
If
Tullahoma.
you want to get a sneak preview, there it is.
Limited
right
seats,
there.
so go online, check it out, see if you can get a ticket before they're gone.
All right. We thank you, and I look forward to seeing a whole lot more of you.
Well, thank you.
If you're going to be around, you're
like
not,
to be
you're not
seen.
going to leave, are you?
I don't think
You
so.
don't hang around in Murfreesboro?
I met my forever.
This is a pretty.
After I moved back, so.
Middle Tennessee is a great forever place to be.
I think so. It's so beautiful here.
Well, and you get all of the seasons.
Yeah.
If you don't like the weather, 2 days,
Just
3
wait.
days, it'll change.
Yep, just wait.
So thanks for being with us, and thanks for your talent, sharing that with us.
Oh, well, you're welcome, and thank you.
Okay, dear.
I appreciate you.
We'll be back after these messages.